Carlson with Barry Trammell. We are in San Antonio where the Alamo Bowl is done. The cleanup is getting started. Confetti on the field after Arizona's comeback win against Oklahoma, 38-24. Barry, the beginning was not good for the Sooners. The end was not good for the Sooners. The middle was pretty good for the Sooners, but obviously wasn't good enough with 6 turnovers today. Was that the top headline for you, all those turnovers?
Yeah, this was the publisher's house sweepstakes. Sooners gave this one away. They knocked on Arizona's door, said, here's a football game if you want it. They said, okay. I mean, I've never seen anything like Sooners had this game in total control. Jackson Arnold settled down after a rough first quarter, moved up and down the field. Arizona had 99 total yards in the middle 2 quarters. Defense is playing good. But you can't commit 6 turnovers. The game's over if you do that, and it was over for the Sooners. They just literally gave the game away. Jacquelyn Farouk, a couple of costly fumbles. One turned the game completely around when OU was about to take a 31-13 lead. And, the Sooners just went to sleep and woke up, and, hey, they had lost the Alamo Bowl.
Yeah, and you said it in the post-game press conference, actually, interceptions happen in college football today because the teams throw it around so much. It's going to happen that the other team will catch it from time to time. But a couple of plays, the third turnover was a Jackson Arnold fumble when he was under pressure in the pocket. But the Farouk turnovers, those fumbles, you got to hold on to the ball. I mean, that's job one when you're a receiver or a running back. I mean, once that ball is in your hands, you got to hold on to it. And so for them to have 3 fumbles lost tonight, that was really, really detrimental. But obviously, Jackson Arnold, much like the Sooners themselves, he was good at times and not good at times. But this was obviously the freshman's first start with Dillon Gabriel in the portal and not playing tonight. What were your overall impressions of just Jackson Arnold as the Sooner starter tonight?
I was very impressed. I thought the first 2 series were really shaky. He seemed nervous. Things didn't go well at all. But after that, I thought he was really good. A lot of pocket presence. He seemed to sense the pass rush, know when to bolt, when to throw the ball away. Threw a lot of good balls. I was very impressed with his poise. I came away more enthusiastic about Jackson Arnold's future after the game than I went into the game with. So I didn't think he was the least of the problems. Dillon Gabriel, Baker Mayfield, John Elway. I don't care who's quarterbacking. If you give the ball away, the game's over. So I was impressed with Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, and let's remember Jackson Arnold's not only playing his first game as the starter, but he's quarterbacking under an offensive coordinator that's calling plays for the first time for the Sooners, and an offensive line that they were having to retool. A lot of guys that started throughout the year unavailable, either in the portal or opting out for the NFL draft. Rebuilding an offensive line, even if you've got several weeks of practice to do that, is not going to be an easy task. So that offensive line, it had its issues, several holding penalties throughout the game on the offense. Now, some of those were on veteran guys, actually,
yeah.
Barry. So
6.
Yeah, so
6 turnovers, 6 holding penalties. That'll get you beat.
Yeah, definitely not a great night for the offense in that regard. But defensively, Barry, I thought it sort of in the same vein. I mean, there were definitely some positives, but a defense that wasn't missing guys. This wasn't a defense hit hard by the portal or by the opt-outs, coaching changes. This was a stable group, and yet they had their own problems. That was troubling to me, frankly, that they weren't a little more stout to uphold things when you knew the offense was going to need the defense to play.
Yeah, I thought in the first quarter they were really shaky. They gave up some big plays. Then they settled down. In the last 3 quarters, they gave up one real touchdown drive. Everything else set up by short fields, turnovers. It was unfortunate. Down here, close to where we're standing on the field, it was 2nd and 17 in a tie game. Arizona, midway through the 4th quarter, Arizona converts that 2nd and 17, 15 yards, and then converts the 3rd and 2. Goes on to score a touchdown. One of the, outside of Farouk's fumble, that was the biggest play of the game probably. That 15-yard gain on 2nd and 17, and the game just got away from Oklahoma. I thought overall the defense, after the first couple of drives, played really well.
So now the Sooners head into the offseason, preparing for that 2024 season and a first in the SEC. I don't know what most people will come away with. I know obviously this was not the same team that we're going to see in the fall. It will obviously have a lot more practice under its belt, including Jackson Arnold, including that offensive line. I thought there were definitely some things for sure. The entirety of this season, Barry. This was a season that you got to feel better about the Sooners getting ready to head into the SEC. It didn't end the way you wanted it to, but overall, you have to feel better about just where this program is getting ready to head into the SEC. But clearly, still room to improve, and I think that's going to be something that Brent Venables can build on as he tells his guys, listen, we're not ready for that. We can't turn the ball over 6 times in the SEC. We can't have 6 holding penalties. He's going to have some points to teach on in this offseason.
Yeah. First time since 1997, Bedlam, that OU had 6 turnovers in a game.
Wow.
Vince Lombardi sent his guys home with about football. They fumbled once too much with the Packers. He sent everybody home with a football and said, you cradle this, you hang on to it the rest of the time until I see you again tomorrow. He said, we're going to take care of the football. That's got to be Brent Venables' number one message to that offense. We got to take care of the football.
Yep, we'll have a lot more about the Alamo Bowl, Jackson Arnold, the offense, the turnovers, everything on selloutcrowd.com. And obviously, as the Sooners head into the offseason, we'll continue to cover the players returning, any transfers, all that sort of thing. Lots more to come on Sooner football on selloutcrowd.com. So stay with us. We'll have you covered.